what's up? Otaku Mike here. Let's talk about Ultimate Wolverine issue number 5. Sabretooth showed up this time. So our story starts out somewhere in Eurasia with a man named Victor. He is running this bar. I think he might own the bar. He is closing up for the night, and he ends up opening up this secret door, revealing two mutants, Artie and Leech. Victor ends up talking to the two children, and he fixes up some dinner, and he's like, hey, eventually the car will be here to take you to your destination where you need to go so you'll be safe. And he kind of starts talking to them. He's like, hey, did you hear this story? Did you hear this story when I was with Logan and we basically escaped the Siberian prison? As he's doing all of that, he ends up taking out the trash. He ends up seeing a Eurasian recon plane. He runs in, tells the kids to get under the floor because they're gonna start scanning stuff, and who happens to show up but Wolverine. Because if you don't remember, mutants are illegal in Eurasia. Like, you can't be a mutant, it's against the law. And the two end up having a knockout, drag-out fight in this between Wolverine and this version of Sabretooth, and which is pretty crazy. They go no holds barred, like they are trying to F each other up. We do get some information that, Sabretooth or Victor actually knows Logan, and they've actually worked together previously, because we come to find out in a flashback. Yes, we get a flashback. It's only taken 5 freaking issues, but in this flashback, we get to hear Wolverine talk. We get to see him without his mask on, which is pretty important, I feel like. But they are sitting around a campfire. I believe they were a part of the Resistance, and they're talking, drinking, and Wolverine tells Victor, hey, I know, we both have the healing factor, stuff like that, but if I get captured, I'm going to need you to kill me. And that's what Victor tries to do. During the fight, Wolverine ends up getting one up on and gets the advantage on Sabretooth by ripping his throat out with his mouth. And he is about to kill Sabretooth, but who happens to show up? But Natasha Romanoff, the Black Widow, who actually joined the Resistance in issue 3, I believe, if I remember correctly. And we find out that, hey, Wolverine's healing factor has yet to kick in because Leech is there stopping it. And what does Sabretooth decide to do? He decides to throw Wolverine in the back of the trunk to take him to the Resistance. So let's take a look at the internal artwork. Here's your creative team. I believe we actually do have a new artist for this particular issue. I don't know if they're going to be the artist moving forward or not, but I have to say it does very much fit within this world that they're creating. And it's very, very well done. I love Sabretooth with a beard. Why didn't we think about that before? Just saying. More superheroes need beards. I know I might be a little biased, but hey. But yeah, it's a very well crafted issue in the art department and in the story department. One thing I really like in this is they don't really hold back with all the action, and most of this is from Sabretooth's point of view at this moment, and then Wolverine ends up showing up. But man, when they fight, and they definitely go at it. You can definitely tell that they are very familiar with each other. And that's one thing I like about this is they do have that already built in history, just like in the 616 universe. But yeah, very, very well done. The action is brutal and intense, and interspersed with these flashbacks that we get. But we only get this one little flashback, it's sad to say, but man, look at that. It's amazing. Wolverine rips off Sabretooth's arm in this, and you get to see all the little tendons and his bones growing back at one point. It's pretty gnarly, to say the least, but very, very well done issue. Very much makes up for issue 4, in my opinion. I just have to say, I really enjoyed this issue. I enjoyed it way more than issue 4. Issue 4 was definitely a letdown, but this makes up for issue 4 in a lot of ways. I'm really interested to see where they take this story now, because they're basically taking the enemy into the good guy territory, and like how is that going to affect things? How is it going to affect things when people start seeing Wolverine again? Because obviously he has worked with them, but this was such a fun issue, even though a majority of it was just Sabretooth and Wolverine fighting. It very much, like, it was like basically welcoming an old friend home again, I feel like. And you pick up right where you left off like 30 years ago. That's where it kind of feels like it picked up. I really like the depiction of Sabretooth. He's a lot of fun in this. And I like it that he's a good guy. Like, I mean, it's pretty fun to see Sabretooth being a good guy, helping out, almost like a fun uncle, I feel like. But yeah, they have most definitely stepped it up with this issue from the previous issue, and I think it's going to go into some really interesting directions that we are not really ready for, I feel like. They are definitely going to pull the rug out from our legs, or our feet too, and I feel like that's what they did with this, because they, for all intents and purposes, they made Sabretooth look like kind of a bad guy on this. I thought he was going to be a bad guy, but they didn't do that. Like, Sabretooth is like the nicest guy in the world who helps out little mutant children. I mean, you can't go wrong with that, But I want to see where exactly this is going to go and how they found out about Sabretooth. And, did they already know he was part of the Resistance and stuff like that with Wolverine? I like it that they finally gave Wolverine a little bit of personality in this. It's a lot like Wolverine's regular personality, but he finally talked. We get five issues in, and you finally make the guy talk, and we get to see him without his mask. I don't know. It was just very well done and really cool. I recommend it. I'm Otaku Mike. I'll catch you guys on the next video.